After the 1988 fires in Yellowstone, Dr. Norman Christensen of Duke University was asked to chair a panel of scientists with expertise in disturbance ecology. The report that was issued from that panel's findings reiterated that fire was an essential component in parks having fire-dependent ecosystems, and that the only way to eliminate wildland fires is to eliminate wildlands. Trust me, my understanding is imperfect, but I promise to learn and adjust along the way. Dr. Norman Christensen.
That's what managers would like to be able to say to the public, and I think it's really critical. And in order to be able to say that, in order to get away with that, which is so, the foundation of adaptive management is that the public understands that. But I think that too often we're put in a situation where the public actually expects something very different. They expect that managers really know what they're doing. They have those answers. And I think managers too often are tempted to portray themselves as having that kind of information. In order to develop that kind of relationship in which you can say to the public, you know, I'm doing the best I can with the best science we have and the best understanding, but please understand that we don't know it all, that uncertainty is here, and so we're going to learn as we go along. But in order to do that, in order to get away with that, you've got to have trust. You can do adaptive management if you're willing to work with the public and work with the people to develop that relationship and the trust. So if you don't do that, however good your management may be, however good your science may be, and whatever good your intentions will be, you won't have the social license to do that. You won't have the social license to mess up, which inevitably happens. I mean, that's as a process of managing in the context of uncertainty. There are going to be surprises, and things are going to happen, and they aren't going to work all together well. And so, you know, it's so critical. Let's come back to the people issue. It's so critical for managers to develop the relationship, to build trust, particularly with those stakeholders who care the most about it. And I think adaptive management is absolutely critical. We can't deal with the uncertainty that is there if we aren't able to do that. But it absolutely has to be built on public trust. If you have no tradition of listening, if in fact the public's relationship with you has been one that has been highly hierarchical, in which what you just said doesn't reflect, in fact, the history of behavior, then the public will shrug its shoulders, and you won't get anywhere with that. So, you know, I think it's critical for managers to be able to say just that. But at the same time, then they really have to reach out and work with that public to build that trust. The constituencies sometimes don't allow it. Go to a congressional hearing and try that line. Well, we're doing the best we can. We don't understand. What do you mean you don't understand? You're telling me you don't understand what you're doing. That really is a very difficult kind of thing to do, and yet I think that we really need to work in the kind of public policy process and working with those constituencies to amend those expectations. That at the same time there has to be accountability. So this can't simply be a way for managers to skirt the accountability. There's got to be accountability, and so it's a very difficult kind of thing to do. I think anybody who's looked at the issue of uncertainty management and adaptive management thinks, well, duh, why wouldn't we do adaptive management? It makes so much sense, and yet there are perfectly good public policy reasons why it's so hard to implement.
Compare Norm Christensen's podcast on building trust with Sue Exline's podcast, where she discusses the need to be vulnerable with the public about decision-making involving risky situations. Out of both Exline and Christensen's viewpoints, construct a method for communicating uncertainty to your general public.